Cameron, really nice to talk to you. I've been itching to do this interview because I'm a huge Agatha Christie fan.
Wonderful.
And what's your relationship with Agatha Christie? How do you feel about her?
Yes, well, look, to be honest, before I was offered this part, I really only knew about her through a lot of the movies, the sort of, as a lot of other people, the Murder on Orient Express movie, Death on the Nile, that sort of thing. But I have to admit, I haven't really read her books until I found out I was playing Hercule Poirot, and then I've been reading about her, read a bit of autobiography, and doing quite a lot of research on her now. Yes. Yeah.
And so you're a fan.
I've become a fan, absolutely.
Yeah,
she had a fascinating life and
she sure did.
Huge success story. Yeah,
I think what I like about it, they're so English, the stories, and the whodunit is actually more important than the actual murder. So they're not grisly. The murders, there may be poison, there may be a stabbing, whatever, but it's more focused on the characters and the actual whodunit, which is what I like. Is that important to you as well?
Oh, absolutely. And it's we've had discussions about this in rehearsal. It's very much the colourful, rich characters, the genre which doesn't have a lot of violence or sex. There's no swearing, and it's working out the cleverness. Well, the character I'm playing, whoever the detective is, cleverly working through the clues and the psychology of the people involved. And that genre, of course, is become huge with the Midsummer Murders, Brokenwood Mysteries, which I play a part in this, on TV, and it's becoming a huge global genre again, I have to say. Yeah.
So Hercule Poirot, really iconic character and played by some very famous actors over decades.
Indeed.
Do you feel the weight of that? How are you feeling about taking this iconic character on?
Yeah, no, that's a very good question. It's a little bit like playing, I suppose, something like King Lear or Hamlet, but there's all these generations of famous actors having played it. Yes and no. I mean, in a way, it's a sort of it's sort of flattering and a privilege to be have the opportunity to play this great role, and it puts me in a sort of lineage with these fantastic actors like Albert Finney or Peter Ustinov, for example, many others. And look, I have to say, I've watched some of them, the movie versions that I've seen, and every Hercule Poirot is completely different. I mean, there's certain qualities the character has, but I think it's the individuality of the actor which comes through. And so I suppose it's an opportunity to do my version, Cameron's version, which I love. So stepping into they are very big shoes to fill. I'm not intimidated by it. It's sort of an exciting challenge, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, you're a very experienced actor. You've done a lot of different kinds of roles. You mentioned King Lear, and of course you were in King Lear last year.
Yeah.
And so, you've got some Shakespeare experience, you've got television experience. So you know how to take on a role. I can tell that already. Have you decided how you're going to play him? Can you give me an insight in that?
Yeah, sure. Well, we're sort of into week 2 of rehearsal now out of, I suppose 5 weeks. So we're exploring what how the production is going, directed by Shane Bosher. And this is a very I think it's the first time it's been adapted for the stage, actually. It's been a lot of film versions of it, but this is a stage version written by a player called Ken Ludwig from the United States, and this has been very popular across America and the UK. First time done in Australasia, I believe. Oh, no, that's not true. The Court Theatre did it last year, but the first time it's been done in Auckland, certainly. And so there's an entertainment element to being theatrical. It's a bit more compressed than the novel, and it has a lightness of touch as well, and there's a poignancy. So he's a complex man. So I suppose I'm still discovering that, but there's some certain sort of factual things you have to do, like his accent, which is French. You can't get away with that. I just washed it out, but today they did a sort of test where my hair was dyed black, moustache black, and they made me doing a different moustache. So working out that he's an incredibly snappy dresser. So I've had a suit tailored for me, Payne's tailors for me. And he's a perfectionist. We'd probably call it OCD now. So he's very particular about certain things. He's very intelligent, so he's very observant. So these sort of qualities which are in the character, I kind of have to do in a way. So they're kind of changing my body language. The way he walks is very particular. He holds himself in a certain way. I'm not sure we can put this on the show yet, but he will has hankies to wipe down surfaces so he thinks they're dirty. And so he's very eccentric. He's very, very eccentric, possibly a bit arrogant, but also a sort of generous, warm personality. So all these factors are affecting the way I'm playing it, I suppose.
Yeah. Which makes it exciting, doesn't it? Because that complexity is something you really have to think about. And then that influences how you perform.
Absolutely. So I suppose that like any character, I bring myself to it, but it's very much as if I was this man who is Belgian. He lives in England. He's a war refugee, highly intelligent policeman. So there's some similarities to me. I mean, I can get a bit OCD about stuff, and I
was going to ask you,
I check the things that turned off 50 times. I'm less concerned with neatness than he is probably, and I'm sure I'm not as perhaps as intelligent and insightful as he is. But I do like to think that I like people, and he's very egalitarian. And Agatha Christie writes about this, where he hates the English class system, and he treats the servants the same way he treats the bosses. So that's kind of a Kiwi quality in a way. I kind of like that he's got a warm heart and he's generous, and he's sort of kind, although he's also doesn't suffer fools gladly. So I suppose to answer your question in a sort of roundabout way, I'm trying to incorporate all these qualities within the context of the script. And also what will be changing, I think, is definitely my body language, the delivery of the lines, which isn't like this kind of French Belgian accent, which I'm working on, and and his kind of way he'd hold himself, the physicality of the character. I've probably not played a character quite like him before, to be honest. Yeah.
No, it's good. Is it stretching you, do you think?
Yes, I think it is. I think it is stretching me in the way that I've never played a character that's English as a second language, like this, like French, so the whole French-Belgian for the whole thing. And also this type of person I don't think I've played. So, no, it is absolutely stretching me, which I think is exciting,
Yeah, no, definitely. So I was looking at the publicity photos, and you look very dashing.
Thank you.
Thank you. You certainly embody the person. And I was thinking you kind of got a hybrid mustache in a way, because David Suchet in the BBC thing had this very tightly controlled mustache, and then Kenneth Branagh in the film is almost from ear to ear, whereas yours is somewhere in between. Yes, so that's a good compromise.
Yes, and we're still sort of workshopping, because those photos you saw were done for a photo shoot.
Yes,
and when you're on stage, you have to make sure it doesn't fall off. So we're going to have to, I'm growing my own moustache, and we're going to probably maybe do a hybrid, or we're going to work on something. So it has to be something, and even on a film set, they can stop and they can adjust it. We can't do it on stage. No. 2 hours has to be.
So if it falls off, that's a majge faux pas. When it's on stage.
It is. No, that'd be terrible. So we don't touch. We don't want that to happen.
Yes, we won't put that. We won't put that out into the universe. It won't happen.
No. So we have to have industrial strength glue or something. So we're going to have a hybrid moustache, something that is looks good on stage, suits me, and it's not going to fall off.
Brilliant. And do they weave? Do they kind of weave that in, or?
Yeah, we're still working that. I think so. I mean, the makeup and things is very sophisticated now. It will be something like that, which is going to look good but be very effective with my rapid fire dialogue, which I have to say.
Fantastic. Now, I want to move on a little bit from that, because I have seen you're in the upcoming Spartacus.
I am.
Show. Now, I'll just have to double check. It's the House of Ashur. Is that right?
Correct. The House of Ashur, yeah.
Yeah. So are you able to tell me anything about that?
Well, I can tell you a little bit. I mean, with these American things, you had 100,000 NDAs. So what's public knowledge and what can I reveal? Yes. Well, I basically, and this is public knowledge, I play a character called Vidas, who is a bit like the mayor of the town, I suppose. To the previous series, which was, at least 10 years ago, was very popular, filmed in New Zealand. And it's in this sort of gladiator world. So it's actually about 150 years before the gladiators films. This is before, Jesus existed. This is something like 80 BC. It's in a rural town, all filmed in Auckland, in these massive studios. I've never done anything quite like this, like massive studios, arena. Sometimes lunch would be for 600. There'd be 400 or 500 extras. It looks extraordinary. I've seen some of it. It's a very exciting series to have been in, I have to say. We've finished filming now. We're doing post-production, and there's a hope that there'll be a number of series, and it will be coming out in probably September, October. There's 10 episodes. There's an international cast. There's a few Kiwis are going to be appearing in it, which is great. And I have to say, it's looking pretty good. I mean, it's a high-budget American. It's a bit like the old Xena and Hercules days, and there's a lot of drama in it. I think it's going to do very well, and it's great for New Zealand that it's being made here.
No, yeah, definitely. Now, do you have a love for candy jet planes?
Oh. Why do you ask that? Did you see a post I said?
I've been looking at you on Instagram, and I thought, oh, there's a picture, a handful of jet planes.
Well, I have to say I do, and I think that was I may have actually broken and naughtily taken them, and that might have been on. It was either Spartacus or Brokenwood. They had them in it's called the unit where they feed you. And the answer is yes. So I think that would have been something they give you sugar to keep your energy up.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
I can't remember which production it was from.
Because they're very Moorish, those, aren't they?
I don't know, they are. And you got to be careful with too much sugar, though, because you go up and down. So they have very good catering on these TV and film.
Do they ration them? Do they with you?
They do. They have to be good. Or something. Actually, I have to say on Spartacus they had massive jars full of those sort of things. But they put them out. They're gone within minutes. So you've got to get in there fast. Yeah.
A couple of final things. So I looked at your CV, and you've got a whole load of accents that you can do. And I'm just wondering, could you say something with a Russian accent for me?
Oh my goodness!
On the spot now. It can be anything.
Right.
Maybe what you had for dinner, if you've had dinner. Or...
Right. I haven't had dinner yet. If I'm speaking the Russian, I would say that. Well, I came back actually from rehearsal, and I have to say I had a light beer.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. So I have no fear of you being able to do Hercule Poirot. Not in Russian.
No. There is a Russian character in the play, and this is a challenge that we have to keep to our own accents.
You stick to French. That's a secret. And the very final question, I promise you: do you have a go-to comfort food? Is there something that is your thing?
Yes. No, that is a very good question. Yeah, I would say, look, I'm trying to stay healthy, and this is going to sound a bit pure, but now I have to say, and another friend put me onto them, these little wee cans of chickpeas and olive oil.
Oh,
and they are so good. Yeah. And they just really are something that I really like, and I'm trying to be on the healthy side. I could go to bread, but I'm trying not to eat too much bread. So I think chickpeas and olive oil. It would be chocolate. It would be dark chocolate. I mean, right. But if I'm being really honest, it's probably dark chocolate.
That's what I wanted to do.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Yes. Yeah.
Hey, well, look, Cameron, an absolute delight to talk to you. I've been looking forward to this interview for quite some time.
Oh, thank you very much.
All the best, and I'm really looking forward to the production, which is coming up in a few weeks. So
it is. I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much. Lovely to meet you.